Hi there, I'm Dr. Stephanie Falk, and I really wasn't sure what to talk about today, and so I went to my spouse and I said, hey babe, do you have an idea of what I should talk about? And he said, flippantly over his shoulder, talk about being awesome. And I, kind of thought, well, you're a lot of help, appreciate that. And then as I continued to circulate on novel ideas for things to talk about, what I ultimately landed on was the comparison trap. And ironically enough, it is really talking about being awesome, because the antithesis or the opposite of the comparison trap is really embracing your unique sense of self, your unique and awesome self. In 19 years of therapy, I have never once seen comparison be a useful thing, yet I see a lot of us, men and women, people in their 50s, people in their 20s, comparing. How do I look in terms of attractiveness compared to someone else? Or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't run as fast. I can't jog with this group of people because they're going to be waiting on me and I'm not good enough. And so comparison, in my estimation, is just an enticer of guilt, shame, sadness, frustration. I don't know how it ever helps us. But I think that in the society in which we live, unfortunately, we're kind of primed to compare. But it's apples and oranges. And so what I'm really encouraging today is a pause button around this idea of comparison. Comparison to me also just doesn't really embrace uniqueness and individuality, flexibility of thinking and thought, that there's multiple ways of being and enjoying life and being attractive and jogging and thinking. There's all kinds of variables that I'd love us to be able to entertain. And ultimately, it's like as if someone asked me, do you like your 8-year-old or your 10-year-old better? It's not something that I could answer. I mean, I would probably giggle a little bit, because to me that seems really absurd. I love them both. They're very different. I love them both for their unique selves. And I wish that we could do that more, especially as adults, is love ourselves and our uniqueness, love our bodies, our way of thinking, our way of processing, our way of interacting, and recognize that we get to be ourselves. We get to be our own unique, awesome selves. Plus, I think this world would be incredibly boring if we were all the same, or if our goal in life was to compete and compare and be better than other people. Ultimately, I think it's a lost cause. If I'm being honest, for instance, I know I've talked about skiing before, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it up again. If someone asked me, do you like soccer or skiing better? That's apples and oranges. I like them both. If someone asked me, are you a good skier? I think I'm a decent enough skier. I can say that pretty confidently. I ski blacks for the most part. If my kiddos had it their way, it'd be just double blacks, and the steeper and deeper, the better. And they drag me along. Can I get down everything? I can. Do I fall? On occasion. But for the most part, I can get down whatever I'd like to. But if I wanted to fall into the comparison trap, I have some girlfriends that I ski with that are heads and tails above me. I am probably never going to ski like them. And they get down these hills and just make it look absolutely effortless. And I love that and appreciate that about them. Yet, if I really fell into that comparison trap, I could feel pretty awful about myself, because I'm nowhere near where they are. But I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that to myself. I get to embrace my ability in skiing and theirs without comparing. That does not have to be the default. So hopefully I've encouraged you to at least consider putting a pause button around this idea of comparing. I ultimately really do believe that we all have beautiful individual traits and qualities, and we would do well to try to embrace those a little bit more, maybe making a list of the things that we appreciate and enjoy about ourselves, and also recognizing that in other people. And then as we feel a knee-jerk tendency to compare, being able to put a pause button around it and say, wait a sec, like this is apples and oranges. This is not about better than or less than, because that is a situation in which I think we're always inclined to fail, because I don't know about you, but for me, there's always someone that's going to have better ski technique or better soccer technique or parent better with their kids, or I can always find someone a little bit better. So why set myself up for that? I hope that you've appreciated tuning into this video. If you don't want to miss one, feel free to subscribe, and I hope this finds you having an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you.